Hello and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Video Mastermind, where we bring you professionals who share insight into the latest trends, tips, industry, technology, and services to help you create more videos to use in your mortgage business. Okay, for those of you who are joining us on the Zoom meeting, good to see you. I'm going to actually get us now onto our live stream. If I find the right one to go to, and that should take us.
We're streaming somewhere. Somebody's watching this.
We're streaming now. Okay. Well, hello and welcome to our next episode of our Mortgage Video Mastermind. My name is Ginger Bell, and today I have with me our usual suspects here, Scott Chang and Frank Garay. Carl is off today. And I'm not sure where Fraser is. And Scott, I'm excited because you've invited a special guest today. So I'm going to let you hop right in.
Sure. Yeah. And even though Fraser's not here, it is still his fault. I want to make that clear. Whatever it is, it's always Fraser's fault.
Blame it on Fraser.
Blame it on Fraser. Julie's been a friend of mine for a long time, probably 10 years. She was involved in, she'll tell her story a little bit, communications director for Association of Realtors. And kind of during the crash, her family, she had a unique family situation. She ended up moving to Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii. And she's got a marketing background. And we were talking one day and we were just kind of bouncing ideas, and the conversation sort of went towards, well, what if you just started sharing your life about a family moving from the mainland to the big island of Hawaii, and kind of what that struggles and what that was, and allow people to live vicariously through this adventure that your family is having. And Julie just kind of took the ball and ran with it. Started a YouTube channel, and it's really funny. We were talking about this before we went live. You know, we're here trying to tell real estate professionals and mortgage professionals the importance of creating video, even lifestyle video, which is, something you're really good at, Frank. But like lifestyle video, and so that people know, like, and trust you, and then they want to do business with you. And kind of what happened to Julie is she started getting so much attention, and people liked her and knew her and trusted her so much that she went out and got her real estate license so that she could start to monetize some of this. I mean, she was referring everything off. She had connections. But it's just, she has just a fascinating story and has built such a cool little thing and got her entire family involved in it. And is just an excellent example of, if you just go out there and it's almost, if you build it, they will come, but there's way more purpose to it than that. But I thought it was just a really good story to share from kind of that other end, where a content creator got so much attention that they figured out how to monetize it in the real estate space.
So and before Julie, you get started, so great introduction. And before you get started, Julie, what is your YouTube channel name?
It's called 365 Hawaii.
Okay. So something to think about, just as far as lessons here, is a name for a YouTube channel, right? Because it's easy for her. It's like, oh, let me send you the link. It's easy for her to do that, and that helps a lot as far as obviously the branding, the recognition, which I know you have a background in that, Julie. But that's the first thing, and that's the thing, everything that she's telling you guys, think about those little nuggets to duplicate. So that's the first thing. If you want to go to YouTube 365 Hawaii, look it up, you can see what Julie's doing.
Thank you. And then also, for anybody who wants to also do a real estate channel, I also created 365 Hawaii Real Estate Minute. Hawaii Real Estate Minute. So I've got about 1,000 subscribers.
Hawaii Real Estate Minute. Cool. Okay.
And that one's pure real estate. Like, I do these kinds of interviews, and we put up how to move to Kona or how to move to Hawaii. I mean, total real estate stuff, like nothing but real estate stuff in there. But then the other channel has over 7,000 subscribers, and it runs the gamut of real estate things to do. issues that help the community. So, yeah.
Didn't you during the pandemic just put a webcam on the balcony to show sunsets in Hawaii like every night?
That turned into the crazy. So many people. In fact, we sold like 4 houses from people who watched that telecast because they were so enamored of watching sunsets from our balcony. They said, I have to have that life. And so then they came after us and said, because we kept saying in the group, hey, we do referral real estate, talk to us, we'll get you into a home. And that's how this happened, was that I was going to get my license 5 years ago. And I'm not going to say I couldn't pass the test. It just became so difficult. I said, screw it. And then one of my realtor friends here in Hawaii said, I just sold a $1.5 million house on a referral you gave me, and we can't pay you until one of you gets your license. So my husband said, I'll take that challenge. And he had no background in real estate whatsoever. And he went and got his real estate license. And then we started saying, okay, now we can start funneling the referral money. And so we started building the idea of taking the things out. Now, and what happened, I'll tell you, talk about nuggets. I was going to this real estate bar camps back in the day with Scott. And I heard a guy say real estate marketing, real estate lifestyle marketing. And he didn't create the 365 idea. It was like somebody else. I think it was Maura Kearney, I think. But his name was Dale Chumley. And he had a page called 365 Things to Do in Vancouver. And what happened was, it was right when the Winter Olympics were happening in, I think, Vancouver, Canada. And people were accidentally finding him and following his page. And he had like 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers on this Facebook page. And he started realizing that he had eyeballs. And so he started running around the city showing people all the things to do in Vancouver, Washington. And it turned into business because he was a realtor. So he came to these bar camps and started telling people this lifestyle marketing thing might have some legs. And so I'm like, oh, you know what? I like that idea. I like writing. So I had lived in Hawaii in 2005, and then we went home after a year. And then I lived in Silicon Valley up until the point where we decided to change our lives because of the housing crash. And then we came over here in 2010, and I said, you know what, I'm going to start this thing. So I started 365 Things to Do in Kona on Facebook. And then Scott helped me create a website called 365kona.com. And then I started doing lifestyle blogging and writing about what was happening in Kona, because I wanted to show the realtors I was training here in Kona how lifestyle marketing was going to work. And it was a test case basis on, I'm showing you guys could do this. Just do it. Here, I'm just doing it. You guys do it too. Nobody else did it besides me. So now I have 27,000 people on that page. And from that, I was able to also write a book, How to Move to Kona, because then people started saying from my blogging, boy, I would like to learn how to move to Kona. So I'm like, oh, it's okay, I'll write the book. And I kept telling realtors, somebody should write a book and how to about real estate in Hawaii. Nobody wrote the book. So I have it somewhere. So I wrote The Insider's Guide to Buying Real Estate on the Big Island, Hawaii, because my lifestyle channel was going so well. People kept looking at me as if I was the expert. And so then when Scott came to visit us one day, or he was on the phone with me about 3 years ago, he said, you're doing so good with your 365 Things to Do in Kona page. Why don't you create a YouTube channel? And I'm like, oh, it's one more thing, Scott. He's like, you know what? The concept that's lifestyle, you already have a following on Facebook. You guys already, are out running around doing all your adventure stuff, and people think you're the adventure couple anyway. Just take it and do a YouTube channel. So we created 365 Hawaii. And at first it was going to be 365 Kona, and Scott, because he's a freaking genius, said it shouldn't just be about the Big Island. It should be about the entire Hawaiian island chain. That way your brand goes island wide. So when you really start to make it big with the real estate idea here, you'll be able to do referral business all over the Hawaiian Islands. Scott is a freaking genius. So yeah,
even a blind squirrel.
So
even
another
a blind
book.
Squirrel.
So blame it on Fraser, and Scott is a genius.
There you go. So then we started going out with when we first started it, we were basically putting a phone on a gimbal and then running around and producing these, 10-minute videos. And I would put them out in the sphere I'd already created through 365 Things to Do. And we got a couple people liking it. And then we started doing a little bit more. When we finally hit 1,000 subscribers is when we were able to monetize. And so that was our big push, get to 1,000, went to 1,000. So we started doing that a little bit more. And then the pandemic hit. And then just how this always works in this world, everybody locked down, people miss Hawaii, missing interesting things to see and do. And here is Hawaii now with no tourists in it on video. So we were going to all the beaches that had nobody in them anymore. We were going to these beautiful places. Well, people were stuck in their houses. We were sneaking out and taking these beautiful hikes out in the middle of nowhere. We were not like, it was so great just to be able to show Hawaii the way Hawaii is without a bunch of people in it. And then we started doing this video every day of the sunset. And so we started telling people about what we did during the day. We kept telling people, go to the YouTube channel and go see our videos. We started, I'd say there were days where hundreds of people would be watching the video, and then we would leave it up on Facebook. And then we'd wake up the next day and like 2,000 or 3,000 people had been watching it. And so it really started becoming this really great, like a podcast, but it was like the video cast, and the sunset was the star. And Eric and I would just talk behind the thing about what was going on with the pandemic and what was going on with travel and la, la, la. And we literally had people come up after this because we did it. I'm telling you guys, it was nuts. I think we did it for 5 months, every single day.
Wow.
So people came up afterwards and said, you saved my life from having something to look forward to every single day. That was beautiful.
Wow.
People were going out and buying those 78-inch television sets just so they could run the stream on their television set. So it was like, it took on a life of its own. And so, you know, I don't know if that could ever be recreated in that sense, but man, the subscriber base started just going. So we had about 4,000 or 5,000 people now subscribed to our channel. And then what was happening is every time we started saying, hey, don't forget, you know, if you want to buy a house, we do referral real estate. And then the world went nuts and it opened up again in October. And all of a sudden, all these people started saying, set me up, set me up, set me up, set me up. We referred out over 50 homes to people. We provided 2/3 of an income for 3 different realtors last year. And we partnered with a mortgage team, and we gave them millions of dollars in referral business with mortgages as well. And so that's when I said, you know, if I had my license, maybe we could keep some of it for ourselves. So,
you know, real quick, let me take you a couple steps back also, because part of lifestyle is also timely and relevance. So if you're the lifestyle blogger, and I kind of coined the phrase Mayorism, and I wrote a couple articles about it in Realtor Magazine in 2012. And actually I got most of that idea. A lot of that was formed from something I saw Frank talking about, which was really going out there, you know, be the digital mayor for your community, interviewing the school board members, the mayor, talk about small businesses in the area. But when the volcanoes went crazy on the Big Island, you were on top of that. Like, you were driving out there and showing pictures of the lava coming across and kind of talking to people about that. And then I remember all of the videos of, the vlog is finally gone. Like, nobody knows that there's this noxious gas that covers Hawaii because of the volcanoes. And then it was all of a sudden gone, like after that. But when you're a lifestyle, when you're doing lifestyle, like anything that happens in your community, you're reporting on, and you did a lot of that.
Yeah. In fact, one thing that, you know, again, we have such a weird market. We don't have a television news station on this island. There was nobody with there was no reporter with a camera and a microphone going out reporting on crazy shit that happens. So we've taken on that role.
Wow.
And so when we had a huge storm here in December, it was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And we getting down to the water, and we went on this pier that was being completely like beaten by the waves, made great video. 60,000 people saw that video. And so we just have this, now it's kind of this nose for news experience. And I know that I'm not the only one, because there are realtors all over the country that created a 365 things to do. In fact, there's a 365 things to do in Austin that has like 100,000 people who are watching that. And the people who create these little lifestyle experiences do become the spokesperson, the mayor. for their little towns.
Yeah.
And so then when something happens, like, when we had a volcanic, explosion, we got the news like at 3 and we were down the volcano by 6 doing like live stream. And so and then people start going like, oh my gosh, whenever something happens, we can count on 365 to go figure it out. So we got hit by a tsunami a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't in the news. They didn't run off the tsunami alarms. We get down there and see all this damage. So I was doing the whole, like, isn't it weird that our people that are responsible for telling us what's going on around here weren't showing up? And then all of a sudden now I have an opinion. So of course, then just like, our buddy here, then you become the guy that said something that has an opinion, then you're freaking fighting with people.
Totally.
So we try and keep it as pretty copacetic as we can, but we get on the back end of a variety of different, because we also live in a culture where the Hawaiians really, at the end of the day, don't want more people moving here. And so the last person you really want to be is the guy that says, hey, come buy a house. So we've gotten our share of hell too from the people who actually live on this island. So we've had to do, we can't just do the whole like, oh, because most realtors could say that. I sell real estate, buy from me. Here, our community's just right for you coming, moving right in. Well, we have to basically say, if you come, you have to come with a sense of purpose and understanding the culture and, aloha and being cool. And like, we're going to do a video this week. It's one of these like shocking videos. It's going to say, don't come to Hawaii. And then the other part is going to say, unless ... And then the video is going to be around, come with aloha and don't come with your expectations of like, Mai Tai lifestyle. So and I did one called, why are the Big Islands a terrible place to live? And I wrote this blog post and it became really popular, got picked up on Huffington Post. And it was a tongue in cheek about how, I feel sorry for the tourists that have their little luggage and their little sad faces. And that's why it's terrible to live here, because you have to watch other people suffer when they leave. And, we have to get to know our farmers. And oh my God, actually understanding where your food comes from. Oh my God. And that one, polarized. Either people love me, they thought that was the best day ever, or people, shut up, Howley, why don't you go home? Why are you even here? And I'm like, and people would say, did you actually watch the video or read the thing? And it became like, so when people know me on states, they recognize us on the street. Hey, 365. People will say, Howley, stop telling people to move here.
I was visiting you one time, and I think 2 different people came up to you while I was out there and just said, hey, you're Julie, aren't you? Like just strangers coming up to her. But, we talk about this a lot, Ginger, and I really want this part to sink in, because Julie's story, we talk about the long game of creating content and getting comfortable with video. I think the video that I published on Monday was talking about the law of attraction, and really that attraction piece is being yourself. Because if you can earn trust from people face to face, you can earn that same trust if you're that same person on video. So it has a lot to be comfortable. And so, it took a long time for Julie to get traction, and not everything is a home run, right? You probably have thousands of videos, and you probably have less than 10 that get 80% of the traffic that you've ever gotten out of all of your videos. But what's really cool also is because she didn't quit and she kept doing it and she kept getting better. Now, like, our whole family is involved. Like Eric is part of, like, you guys are a family business now.
Yeah.
He quit his job.
Right,
He learned how to drone. And so, and now you guys like are this little family lifestyle video production company on the Big Island. It's amazing.
Yeah. My daughter got into TikTok, and so she has over 500,000 subscribers on TikTok. And so now she's getting brand deals. So she's actually making more money off of her videos than we are. She gets picked up by Canon, Amazon. She's like her own thing. But it's funny that I get some ideas from what she does on TikTok that I then use, like on Instagram Reels, and then I transfer that to the 365 Things to Do in Kona Facebook page. So video, I'm telling you guys, and it's Scott, everyone's been talking about video is king. It's been 15 years of video is king. It is. And having the opportunity just to go out and make like little videos too, the little short form videos. videos.
Yeah.
We're going to start trying to do that on YouTube. They are trying to encourage people to use these like little minute videos.
The stories. Yeah.
It has
what are
to
they
be a
calling them?
minute or less. Yeah.
Shorts.
Yeah,
In
but
order
they're
to be a
basically trying to
short.
compete with TikTok. So they want to see some of the other creators create these opportunities for little happy moments. And which is kind of interesting because also about YouTube, people said you don't want to do a video that's more than 2 minutes because people lose their, they lose their, focus or whatever. We've done videos for 40 minutes and people watch them all the way through. If you're saying the right thing that they really want to know about, and talking about edu marketing is the fact that when we say, hey, we're going to tell you what the difference is between this side of the island and this side of the island. Right. Well, if you're on vacation or if you're moving here, that's important information to know where you're going to put your time. So we've been able to use the edu marketing lifestyle experience around the whole thing that we're doing with the real estate, plus the with people, and also we help tourists, and tourists turn into people who want to move here and they buy houses. So it's a circle of, and also we tell people here, we're raising money to go put sunscreen in a dispenser so they can have reef safe sunscreen so tourists aren't putting their crap in the ocean. Here, let's raise $2,000. And I put it out to my group and we raised $2,000 in 24 hours. So I've been able to actually utilize this whole experience towards actually helping the island too. So I pull them back and I say, hey, you know what? One of the things you guys get to be here and live here, you have to give back. And as soon as I say, hey, we're going to be doing this, or we're going to do this, I get people who volunteer and say, it's important to show aloha. So, yeah, so it's been a this whole thing, to think that Scott one day said, go get, a YouTube channel started. And then to see people coming on the island and saying, you changed my life. And people saying, oh my God, if it wasn't for your YouTube channel, I don't know how I would have been able to do this. And so
listen, there's nothing genius about it. This is Julie all the time. And all I said is you have such an outgoing personality. You're so fun and you're so genuine that just be that person on video so that it lives forever. It's like, you don't have to be somebody you're not. And people will watch 40 minutes of somebody who's passionate about what they're talking about, and they're just themselves. Like when you go to Hawaii, and I connect people with Julie all the time. Oh, you're going to the Big Island? I know somebody that knows everything about the Big Island. Here's her information. But like, if you go and you meet Julie, it's this exact same conversation. Like, this is just you, and I think that's such an important part. I think we feel like we need to play a role, and that we need to do something that will result in a measurable ROI, because that's what all of our salespeople tell us. It's really hard to quantify ROI because it's so multidimensional, and the time delays are so unpredictable with when you get picked up by that right person, or when Canon picks up your TikTok channel, or you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
So you have to just do it and
the
put it out
whole
there.
energy of like, you just keep going. You never know what the universe is going to show up and give you. We've gotten free tickets to all the events on the island, because since we videotape and I write about stuff, we've gotten hundreds and hundreds of dollars of tickets to stuff.
That was actually our conversation. I said, Julie, if you start going to restaurants and writing about it, people will start inviting you to their restaurants, so you'll do a review. And then I remember the phone call the first time it happened. She goes, oh, we got invited to this restaurant, or they're flying us over to this resort because they know we'll blog about it.
That's right.
It was awesome.
Yeah. We got in with a local air carrier, and they started flying us around the different islands, and we got a chance to stay in this awesome resort in Maui. And we're clicking ourselves like, are we living this life?
I gotta chime in on something here. And first of all, what an awesome, remarkable story. Just so cool, man. And I think that people who are watching this, real estate mortgage peeps, sometimes, I don't know. I just want to say what Julie has going on probably seems like really appealing to a lot of people. Like, man, you're so lucky, man, you're so lucky. This is what you do. Are you kidding me right now? And I just want to say that this is not a pipe dream, and this is something that can be achieved. But this is something that, like Scott keeps saying, and Gingers, this stuff takes time. You know, it takes time, but it takes, and this is what I've always said, and I know Ginger and Scott have heard me say this a billion times. Consistency is everything. With consistency, everything works. Without it, nothing works. Right. And, you know, Julie, I'm meeting you for the first time, and I'm looking at your site and your channel, and I'm just going, here's a person that latched onto something, stayed very consistent with it. And let's not BS anybody. Some work involved in this, right? You got to every day, you got to think about what you're going to do. You're going to get your content together. You're going to work at it. You get some video shot. You're going to fly some drone footage. You can do some editing, whatever it is you do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm lucky to have Eric. You know, Eric does the heavy lifting with the editing. He's learning how to fly a drone. He's out there practicing. He's trying to create this new opportunity in a realtor. And again, it's you can tell a realtor, you know, drone is everything. And then they go, yeah. And then Eric had to learn how to drive, do a drone. And it's basically getting your pilot's license.
Yeah.
And now he's learning what they call FPV, which is first person view droning, which is the little drones that zip through houses and they zip around. You've seen like videos maybe on the internet where they follow in a bowling alley and they follow the ball and they go around, and someone like in a lifestyle video, somebody's like about to drink something and the zip and they walk by and they go like this and the zip's right by him. Yeah. That's his next thing. And he's out there every day spending 20 minutes trying to figure out how to fly that drone.
Well, and again, this is work, right? This is effort. This is work. This is putting time into something that you're passionate about. Right. In this case,
you have to love it. No one's paying you to begin with.
I guess the point I'm just trying to make is for anybody who's listening. And let me just ask you this, Julie, like, you know, there's people out there that hadn't even done their first video yet. You know, and so something like listening to you and hearing everything you've done just seems like a million years away and like 10,000 feet in the sky. You know, it just seems like so big and epic and like, you know, almost hopeless, almost hopeless for somebody who's just getting started. But tell the truth. I mean, when did you do your first one? What was it like? You know, when did you shoot your first video and how was it? And
right. Okay. So I'll tell you one thing about, because I used to train realtors on social media until I realized that they never listened to me. So whatever, I just did it myself. But one of the ways that we first started this, and it's not rocket science, for the 365 things to do in Kona page, what I started doing was I would call 365 Kona moment. And I would just stand there with my camera and do 30 seconds of what the hell it was I was looking at. It wasn't me on camera. You know, it was everything else, 30 seconds. And I would put that out there, maybe once or twice a week. Here's a sunset. Here's something I'm looking at, la, la, la. And then when Scott said, hey, why don't you guys do the 365 Hawaii YouTube channel? It was right around that time Eric said, why don't you step out from behind doing this and get in front of it? And I'm like, because they don't care about me. They care about what I'm showing them. It's not about me. It's about the beauty. It's about the life. It's not me. And he's like, I think that you should get in front of the camera. And then that's when Scott showed up and said, hey, if we do this, Julie, you become the girl, right? So then it became me telling a little bit about the island, and then Eric and I both taking hikes and running around. And then Eric, he's like, kind of like, I'm tired of you being the star. I want to be a star. And here's a guy that has no background in real estate, no time in front of a camera, going like this. I want some of that. So then he started coming around the front of the camera, and then it became the Julie and Eric show. And then here's the guy that got the real estate license because I didn't want to take the test. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, I like that guy. I want him to sell me the house. So we've gotten a variety of different leads just from Eric standing in front of the camera too, who never even wanted to be in front of the camera. And now we go back and forth. We get equal time on the camera. I sometimes help him in what he needs to say, but people find him charming, and because he's like, average schmo guy just who enjoys living in Hawaii. So you don't have to have a background as a photojournalist major to be able to get in front of a camera and start talking to people, as long as you care about what you're doing.
How long has the journey been?
3 years. So
that's pretty fast.
Yeah. So Scott called us like in March of 3 years ago, and he said, hey, why don't you guys think about doing this? And then Eric saw the value of that. He was like, you know what? Hey, we could like be the voice for the entire Hawaiian island chain. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I go, that's so far out there. And you know what, as Scott has told us too, you can't get there unless you actually start.
That's right.
So we said, you know what, let's do it.
And let me tell you, 3 years is not, I was expecting you to say something like 10 or something like that. But 3 years?
10 years.
She's been blogging.
Yeah, so 365 Kona started 10 years ago.
Okay.
But like you said, it's a consistent experience of me going out and creating something. And I've had realtors say, I can't do something 365 days a year. That's insane. I'm like, well, then do it 3 times a week and do something. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And most of the people that I've told the 365 idea to, and have taken it, they've made deals. I mean, it's if nobody else is doing this and you're the guy that's actually putting information out about your own community, people are going to find you. And they're going to think that you know what the hell you're talking about. And next thing you know, that you become the trusted advisor and the expert that people want to deal with. And like this whole experience is, if they like you on camera, they'll probably like you in person.
Oh, totally. They will. It's you.
You know, the other thing I wanted you to just mention, because we do this 30 minutes, so we're just about done. But we always talk about when you put content out there, by the time they contact you, they already know, like, and trust you. Right. And what I also say is there is no competition when you're creating content, because like you said, some people are going to be drawn to you. Some people are going to be drawn to Eric for whatever reason. There's always going to be a percentage of viewers that are going to be attracted to one thing or another subliminally. Like, they don't know. They're not making a conscious decision. They're just like, that Frank Goray guy looks like somebody that I want to work with for whatever reason. I like people that wear the hats. Who knows? You know, you just don't know. So it's like, I don't know where I forgot where I was going with that. I guess what I'm really saying is it's literally just doing it. There's never a market that you're tapping into. When you're creating content, you're always building your own market, because people are going to be attracted to you, your language, your character, your appearance. None of these things you can control. They're just you. So when you do it, it's literally just being able to be found. And that's it. Julie was just able to be found. So when people are looking for information or looking for a sunset, she just happens to be able to be found.
And I'm telling you guys, the SEO that we get from Google, we get, you guys, and just to kind of monetize this real quick, I have my hands in blogging. I have my hands in Facebook. I got social media, YouTube. 99% of all the phone calls we got last year to give us deals came from YouTube. I saw you on the internet.
Okay, say that again, Julie, because I want everyone who's watching this to hear this, because this is, if you're questioning about YouTube, this is someone who runs a blog, who does the SEO, who has the social media. And so how much of your business came from YouTube?
99%. And you guys, I'm not, Eric's like, don't tell them the numbers, but we made over 6 figures last year in 1 year because of YouTube. So we all came from people finding us because the SEO on Big Island, lifestyle, whatever, they watched like 7 or 8 of our videos, fell in love with us and said, I'm going to call them and tell them how, have them refer me. If some of these realtors,
you didn't even do the deal. You just referred. So you had the transferred trust that they trusted you so much that you would get them to someone that would take care of them. And that's actually more important to have that transferred trust than actual trust. So very, and
our realtors love us. I'm telling you, one of my realtor friends, he made over $400,000 last year, and I gave him 2/3 of his business. So they think that we're the lead machine, and that's the reason why I got my real estate license. I'm like, I'll take one of those.
you know, the other important part of this is unlike pay-per-click or paid traffic. When you stop paying, you stop getting the opportunities. Julie's machine is unstoppable. It is out there. She has so many lines in the water. She has so many videos running 24/7 that she's having conversations and building relationships and trust with people while she's out on the beach. She's not even doing the work anymore, but she continues to feed that machine. But that momentum grows and it doesn't stop. It just grows exponentially because it stays out there forever.
And it stays out there. Yeah. When people Google it and you are the mayor of your city and you're saying anything about with your city name and people want to know about your city name, then you come up first in search. I mean, when I was doing my 365 Kona page, I kept talking about moving to Hawaii. I was ranked 3rd in organic search for moving to Hawaii for the entire island chain because I was the one writing about it all the time. So the same thing with YouTube is that people want to watch videos more than they want to read anything.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, we did a little thing on this too. More men are on YouTube, more women are reading and on Facebook. And so I'd like to believe that women sometimes lead the experience if they're going to buy a house. But I think both couples sat down and were watching all of our videos, because we did get a lot of men saying, hey, now's the time we're going to move. I want to buy a house with you guys. Where a lot of the women that come through Facebook are single and they don't have the money as much as the people. I mean, we're talking $1 million homeowners. They're finding us on YouTube, where it more of the single women. Hey, I just want to buy a condo. I just, I want to go sit on the island, which is fine. But it's interesting that both have such different demographics. Higher income level people with the money that I don't have to worry about walking in too far through the whole process, saying, you know what, we're coming, set us up, give us a realtor, we're there. And now these people are becoming our friends.
I love it.
It's YouTube.
I love it.
Oh, and we make like $500 a month because we put up videos. Ooh, it pays for
about dinner. Stuff, about things you love, about your home and what you love about it.
Yeah.
Which
and people, if they want to go to my YouTube channel, please take the ideas that we've already created. Their ideas are out there. These are not rocket science ideas. Go on hikes in your community, show people pools, show them different things that they can do while they're there. We just did one on lifestyle. We did one on health and wellness. And I just showed them the gyms and the trails and stuff. So if you want to come and get, active and healthy, there's a video for it. I'm telling you, it's again, and you're giving out these people ideas too. Use the internet to find ideas and then tailor it to your own community.
Yeah, smart.
There you go.
Julie, thank you so much. We loved having you on. We're going to have you back on again, and we'll have to have Eric on to talk about the drone because
he's he's the equipment freak. So if people want to see the genesis of how we went from literally putting a phone on a gimbal to using our real estate referral money to buy decent video equipment, he loves talking about that stuff.
That would be great. So we will definitely put him on and have you back on again. So thank you so much for sharing.
And thanks to Scott again.
If you're looking for 365 Hawaii.
And if they want to see what I'm doing on the Facebook page, is 365 things to do in Kona. And then and if they want, and also just as I'm running around, I created 365 things to do in Hilo and 365 things to do in Kahala. So now I own the entire island from this whole 365 idea. So use it.
Well, Scott and Frank and I are going to come and see you. I'm going to see what time I can get a flight out of Portland. Because Hawaii is wonderful. My husband actually was born and raised on Oahu.
On Oahu. There you go. Yeah. So you know how to bring the aloha spirit with you.
Yes,
so come, we'll take care of you.
Yes.
Got lots of friends.
I actually lived on Oahu for 6 years myself.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah. The Big Island's a little different. We don't have 1 million people on a little
True.
heck of a that's what's nice about this. That's why it's so fun to be out in the world. So there you go. Okay, you guys. It was nice meeting all of you.
Awesome.
Listen to Scott. He's the guy.
Very good.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Julie. Frank. Thank you.
Everyone.
And mahalo, everyone.
Yeah, and aloha.
Aloha.
See you later.
Bye-bye.